Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. You can find those streams online on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV. I have the superintendent of the Taylorville School District, Dr. Chris Doherty, in studio. Great to have you along, Dr. Doherty.
Today's opening day for Taylorville schools, and we are so fired up.
I am fired up for you. The first day of the 2022-2023 school year. What are you looking forward to this school year, Dr. Doherty?
Well, we're looking forward to being together in a normal learning environment. Last year we started and we had some things thrown at us from the government that were really difficult and didn't seem normal. This year we're healthy. Campuses are open. You see purple and gold all over. We've got reading programs in place. We've got specialized support systems for our staff and students. And it's just really an exciting time to be a student at Taylorville.
I would be excited if I were a student at Taylorville, let me tell you that. Well, you have a brand new school year, and last night you had a school board meeting. Take me through some of the highlights of that school board meeting. One of the things I see on the communications part is how the Tornado Open crew put on a successful golf outing. Can you tell me a little bit about that golf outing?
Sure. So the Tornado Open is a premier fundraiser for our Sports Booster Club, and Jenny Moats was the leader of the outing and has been for a number of years. They made quite a bit of money for the program, and everybody came out to support the Tornadoes. The golf course was full. We're treated really well. It was I believe it was the hottest day of the entire summer.
Okay. That's good to hear that they did really well. I know that Taylorville City Council honored Jenny Moats as Volunteer of the Month at their bi-monthly meeting Monday night. So congratulations to Jenny for all her hard work. Also, who do you have to thank for getting the schools together and ready to go for this new school year?
A big thank you to Steve Walters and the custodial and maintenance crew. Our schools look better than ever. The floors are waxed, the roofs are going on, the tuck pointing's getting done. There's new furniture at North School. There's new sinks and there's plumbing. Obviously, you can't see the plumbing, but just things are working and things are ready for the kids. It's really exciting.
What kind of new furniture at North School did you?
We replaced the desks, and they were about 30 years old. And what we did is we shaved off about a foot from each desk. So if you have 24 desks in a room, you've just gained 24 square feet of living space. So there's so much more room for our kids to group up, collaborate, move around, and instruction to happen, because kids are really active learners. They don't really just sit at desks. And we were clogged up in that space. So these new desks are just amazing.
Yeah. And there's a lot of other work that you have to do behind the scenes besides just the custodial and maintenance crew, albeit they have a lot of work to do. But there's a lot of other stuff that goes into a new school year, right, Dr. Doherty?
Oh, there's so much that goes into our technology team, and our office crews have been behind the scenes. Our nurses just setting up protocols and getting everything in order. It takes a lot of effort to close out a year with the dollars and to plan for the next year and all the state reporting. So I'm really pleased to have the best office crew and the best technology department. They've done terrific work, and the reason that we're in good shape, we've got a brand new website, and it's got tools for an app, and it brings all the schools together. So make sure you get the app and just go into the App Store and type in Taylorville Community Unit School District. It's real easy to download, and everything's in one system. It rolls our Facebook, it rolls our Instagram, it rolls our announcements all into one.
Another highlight you had this summer, the Illinois State Board of Education awarded your Preschool for All program. What did they award the Preschool for All program
So
for?
our program, our staff in the preschool program at Central School under Lake and Puzzi's leadership received the state's quality recognition for improvement for early learning and development programs.
So what does that entail? What does that mean that they accomplished?
That means they hit every mark that they're measured in the program. So teaching kids how to communicate and teaching kids their motor skills and teaching kids their social emotional skills and their thinking skills.
And that award is the Circle of Quality Award, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Circle of Quality.
Okay. And so that's great. Now, something I know that you've been really paying a lot of attention to, your fine arts and sports complex. Any updates in that regard?
So we've got our consultants in place for the construction end of it. That was recently approved. We have a board meeting next Tuesday coming up for building committee, and we're going to lay out all the work that we're sending the architect out to perform for us between now and October. So it's pretty important work. They're working on design development, and then we are working on fundraising on the side. We've got a committee, Lee Mateer's heading that committee up, and Kathy Fergan, and they're having quite a bit of success. And what they're doing is they're securing naming rights for different parts of the facility. So right now the options are rooms, the buildings, seats, and portions of the space, such as the lobby or the snack area.
And I know that there's a little bit of a funding deficit, but you guys have been closing that gap over the last few months. How much progress have you made for that?
We are working diligently on that, and we're starting to see that come together. We're very optimistic that closes.
All right. And again, this timeline for the Fine Arts and Sports Complex, 2024.
So the all the paperwork's, you were in the design phase, and then all of the bidding and that type of paperwork happens in the winter, and we start demo and construction around spring break.
Okay.
And we get the keys to it August of 24. So we're going to be for 1 year, one school year out, and then the kids that come in that following year will be on the stage and on the courts.
1 school year of construction is the way.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's really exciting. And I know it's been a long time coming, especially for the fine arts students too. They've been really hammering this home and really wanting a fine arts building.
We're pretty thrilled that we had so many stakeholders come to the steering and focus committee meetings to help us design and to put the right elements and plan together. It's in pretty good shape, and it's because of that input from all of our stakeholders. So we're proud of their commitment, and we've been working tirelessly on it for about a year. And I know even prior to that, about 14 years of concept thinking. So it's huge to bring it to the table for the community.
What would you say to folks who maybe are a little bit apprehensive about spending so much money on a building?
Well, the reason that we're in this position is we've restructured the finances and we've really gone after grants. Last night we presented our budget, our tentative budget for this coming year. So we looked at what closeout was from last year and what we're predicting for this coming year. And we've got the finances in good order. A lot of steps the community's taken to get us here. So it's the right thing to do. The community's agreed to invest in schools. So we're just being very prudent with the dollars. About a quarter of our dollars last year came from grant efforts. And the reason we're in this position is because of the restructuring.
And the other part of this too, that I think maybe some don't think about, is just how many children of high school age this will impact throughout the years too.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long-term investment.
It's a long-term investment. We've got about 2,400 students in our district, so we'll serve all of them. And our high school serves about 800 kids.
And that's just per year.
That's per year.
Yeah. And so if you think about it over, I don't know, however long the lifespan of the building, you can do the math.
50 plus.
Yeah.
It's a long-term investment.
Let me reintroduce you here. That's Superintendent of the Taylorville School District, Dr. Chris Doherty, here on the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark.
WTIM. Local information station. WTIM.
Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Glad to have you along. Your stream brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. You can find those streams online on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube at WTIM TV. I have the Taylorville School District Superintendent, Dr. Chris Doherty, in studio. During break, Dr. Doherty, we were talking about some of the athletic programs this year, and lots of excitement, lots of buzz around a few different programs right now, Dr. Doherty.
So Friday night's our purple and gold game. We are guaranteed a win. So come on out, come on out to the field. They're kicking it off. We'll be grilling, and the teams will be facing each other. So that's exciting.
Purple and gold game is a good way to see where you stack up against the other part of your team.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
scrimmage.
Yeah.
What other sports is the Taylorville School District excited about this year?
We're pretty excited about volleyball.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I believe we got a state run lined up. We've got great coaching. We've got great skills. We've got a good skills building program leading up to it. And the girls look amazing. I was watching them hit in the East Gym this week. And I'll tell you what, they're communicating well in the court. They're executing plays well. I just got a feeling you might want to take a look at that volleyball.
Yeah. And some of those volleyball players are some are some of the same that are on the girls basketball team too. And
yeah,
I know there's a lot of expectations for that girls basketball team this year too.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Pretty exciting. You had a school board meeting last night to kick off the new school year. Take me a little bit through some of the things that you highlighted for your report. What are you first off, I see something about white buses arriving.
The white buses have arrived.
What's up with that?
So we've had a difficult time transporting students outside of the school day for activities. And most districts do have white activity buses, and our district just hadn't had them. And there's a bus driver shortage. So we now have 5 white activity buses, 2 are vans, 3 are actual buses, and they transport 14 students at a time. And you don't need a CDL for them, so we can use our licensed staff to get kids hauled around. It was very exciting to have those roll into town. We were able to purchase them through a grant program, and we took a lap through town, a victory lap, and it was like being in a parade. People were so excited and waving, and the kids, they just know that's going to expand opportunities to get them around for activities.
So basically, it's a little bit of a smaller bus,
Yep.
as I understand, and did I hear you say 5 of them?
Yeah, we've got
Okay.
3 buses and 2 vans.
And 2 vans.
So it should help tremendously, because we've really been struggling with trying to get that need met. With our busing, we had a approval last night of our hazard zones, and the hazard zones are approved by IDOT. And anytime you have such as a heavy traffic area that they deem a heavy traffic area, or you have railroads that are hazards for kids, then you can set up busing for students, because the state law is if kids are 1.5 miles from school, they get bused. Anything within the 1.5 miles is parent responsibility. So we have had some discussion with especially our Kenton subdivision. The students that are there, we do send a courtesy bus out for the little schools. Students going to North and Memorial, and then junior high and high school have always walked. We haven't extended that, and I know some parents were concerned about that. So we're working one-on-one with families if there's hardship cases, but we do have limited ability because of what IDOT and the State Board of Education says on what's zoned. So we're in compliance with that. And then, of course, we're working on customer service and really trying to help our families. So if you experience difficulties, the bus company and the district are working hand in hand, and we're trying to get everybody to school and help out families within our limits.
Anything else you'd like to say about the bus services for the school district?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Moving on then. Something the pandemic did for just about every school district. It forced school districts to come up with an e-learning plan. Now, I know we're not going to be doing a lot of e-learning this year, but, snow happens. Other things could happen. So what is this e-learning plan public hearing coming up here in the near future?
So our district's put together an e-learning plan, and we've had several years to work on it. The teachers had a crash course, and so did the students and families when the pandemic first hit. But we have since civilized the plan, so it allows us flexibility when weather comes in, so we don't have to shut down and then tack on a week at the end of the school year like we did this year. We were cruising along fine until February hit, and we had 2 blizzards. And then we were in school in June. And I don't mind being in school in June, but the kids hate it. And we really want to optimize learning. So this plan allows us to flexibly use our days in case there's weather and other emergencies. And then we have things on the website. We have tools in the classrooms, and teachers will just communicate out, and we would have a home learning day if that should come up.
I'm sure this is all stuff that you will go over with your e-learning public hearing on the 23rd, but is there a scenario in which you'll just say, we're just going to shut down for the day? Or is this e-learning plan, is that kind of preventing that from happening from the near
We're
future?
going to try to use the e-learning plan's flexibility whenever possible. I can't predict every extreme case that may come up. We still do have the option of an emergency closure without any learning. But we're going to try to limit that just so that we can keep continuity of learning going. I know the kids will be a lot happier that way, and so will the teachers, opposed to an extra week in June.
Yeah. Dr. Doherty, running out of time here. Anything else you'd like to say about the brand new school year?
We're just in place and excited. Make sure you meet your teachers and come into school. We're here to serve you. I'm sure you'd have to look at certain schools to see any open house opportunities coming here in the near future to go meet those teachers that you're alluding to. We've had meet the teacher night all week.
Oh, really? That's really cool.
So there's been a lot of activity in the schools, and then our classrooms and our teachers are just ready, and they've already been communicating out with parents.
That's Superintendent Dr. Chris Doherty. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your stream brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark.
WTIM.